We got news to get into today, boys. I got full tier lists of your heroic, basically Mythic Plus, looking at DPS, tanks, healers. We also got some news to get into about some of the final changes hitting the servers today for 12.1, as well as just final rankings for your top 1% of Mythic Plus this season. Let's just get into it. Final week of Turbulent Timeways, guys. That's what this is, and that's what we're getting into here. Dragonflight is back. We've rotated through all the Turbulent Timeways stuff. This is your last week to get them out. Unfortunately, if you haven't done the achievement at least 3 weeks now, there's no chance of getting them out anymore. So don't worry about it, though. You can always get it with Time Warp badges the next time Turbulent Timeways comes back. But yes, Turbulent Timeways being sent off. Don't forget, obviously, these awards are available thanks to this being Dragonflight. The Black Furred Bakar is one of my favorites there. So if you haven't gotten it already, go ahead and get that. Moving on to the update of the Mythic Plus scoring system and what it means to be a top 1%er this season. Blizzard actually released an update for the scores that they believe you will need to have to be a top 1% and a top 0.1%er. And here they are, guys. In this region, we're talking about right now, the current region that we're in, NA, Season 1, and if it ended today, the top 1% would be 3,915. That's right, 3,915 would be your top rank. If you want to be a top 0.1%er and get that title, 4,183 is the rank that you're looking to get. So overall, I mean, this changes. Obviously, you have EU scores here too, though. 3,962 for EU and 4,207 for EU on the top 0.1%. So a little bit higher for the EU side of things. Overall, these are crazy high scores. Man, these are crazy freaking high scores. I mean, you're plus 20s, 21s at that point. So, yeah, you're really pumping your dick off. That's good for you if you're going to get there. This is the final week. So if you're not there yet, you got about a couple more days here to play this out before the next reset and try to get to those scores if you really want to be a top 1%er or 0.1%er. Moving on, we got some hot fixes that also hit the servers today for retail. We got some fixes to Blood. Evidently, there was a Dance of the Midnight Apex talent issue where it was incorrectly increasing damage taken. We've seen this a couple times now. Now decreases damage taken as was intended. There was also a fix to Will of the Forsaken. To break mind control would not show up as the cooldown on the trinket for the PvP trinket. So there you go with that. That's now fixed. And world bosses, they fixed a bug that prevents alt characters from receiving soulbound items from killing world bosses. Also fixed a bug where the reward could include a piece of unmatched gear, I guess, to the player's chosen specs. So there you go. That's also been fixed. Moving on to some 12.1 stuff, right? The patch that's hitting in just a week. I mean, we are a week away, boys. It's almost here. 12.1 data mine hotfixes. And these are interesting. One reason why these are interesting is because they're changing how some of these abilities' immunities work, which means it's going to be a little bit harder for a lot of us to do some of this stuff. So for Mythic Plus, we see Blinding Veil. First of all, Lakishi Thornblade. She saw her periodic damage increased by 100%. That's interesting. But what really is interesting to me is the Altar of Fangs changes and the Raid changes here, because a lot of these abilities are now immune. You can no longer reflect or deflect or get rid of these abilities. We're talking about a few Rattle, Septic Spatter, and Venom, Virulent Whirl, Corrosive Fangs, and Noxious Spray. Interestingly enough, things that can't be reflected anymore, anything like that, that's kind of shitty for me as a Blood DK, because my anti-magic shell works really well against poisons, and it's not going to work anymore. What's up, Miami? How's it going, man? So that's going to be something that's a little bit harder for me. Same for Raid here. Stir the Depths, Barb Bulkwork, and Vile Flood. These are being treated now as area effects. So I guess it's better for avoidance things and stuff like that. You'll be able to dodge those. But really, Altar of Fang stuff, I mean, not being able to get rid of these poisons and stuff, it's just going to hit a little bit more. Basically, they're putting more stress on the healers. So same here with the Delve boss. Void Toxin is no longer reflectable, which again means things like anti-magic cell and stuff are just not going to work on poisons like that. So you're going to be taking some damage, boys, and going to have to heal through it and mitigate a different way. Here we go. complete Curse Surge world events. We got Curse Surge world events coming. If you guys don't know what these are, they're the next iteration of world events coming to WoW. Another 12.1 thing that's going to be happening out in the open world. It's not going to give you anything crazy in terms of gear. A lot of people are probably going to do it for this Ruby Wraith mount. Pretty damn cool looking mount. I love these new 3 snakes tied together stuff. And this one's really cool with the red, black, and the green colorway. This is a really nice looking mount. You'll be able to get this by doing these events. So first of all, you'll get the Turn Back the Surge weekly quest. This quest will appear in 5 different locations on the maps for the Coiled Isles. Through there, though there will not always be one up at any given time, the event itself is pretty straightforward, asking players to complete as many objectives as possible, such as killing mobs, interacting with eggs, opening up cages for prisoners, stuff like that. Basically, it's a fill the bar quest. The first item that you'll get for defeating a boss each day will be Voidlight Marl and Coffer Key Shards, a Warbound piece of 266 item level adventure gear, and a chance at the Ruby Wreath. As I said before, your first box every day from this stuff will give you a chance to get this mount, so this is definitely going to be something that everybody's going to be wanting to do. It's a weekly, so your first time every week. So you're going to get one shot at this every week to get this mount. A Corrosive Soul can also drop at rank 4. While rank 8 will upgrade to 279 item level veteran track gear. Nothing crazy again in terms of gear. If you got a new tune that you're using for this patch cycle, this might be a way to gear them out just a little bit. Gathering perks, there's also a bunch of stuff that you'll be able to get for crafting and stuff if you want to actually get into that. And some interesting stuff for fishing as well. If you want to get into some fishing stuff, there's a bunch of cool fishing stuff that you'll be able to do here. And a hidden toy. Players can discover a hidden toy by defeating the boss at the northeasternmost Cursed Surge location. Around 7033 is the location of Sekrithos is his name. He drops the Diver's Key fragment, 3 of which can be combined to create the Diver's Key, and that'll allow you to open up this Sunken Diver's Chest, which actually gives you the Ancient Amani Mask. Put this mask on your face, and you may have trouble taking it off. It kind of gives me the Mask vibes, you know, the movie The Mask. If you're a 90s kid, you know that movie. It just sounds something like that. I don't have any actual images of what this mask looks like when you wear it, but the description of it just kind of sounds like that movie. Moving on to the Great Vault. Yeah, elite movie indeed. It does sound kinky, I agree. The 3 snakes tied together, yeah, for sure. The Great Vault. I've been getting questions about this on YouTube in the comments section, so I figured I'd address it again. How's the Great Vault going to work at the start of the season? First of all, your first week of playing Season 2 will be considered the preseason. We're talking about the week of August 11th to August 18th, right before Mythic Plus and the raid opens up and everything else like that. So your first week, you're going to be pounding out those Mythic Zeros. They're all going to be weekly locked. Okay, you can also do delves up to delve rank 11. But you'll be basically hitting those weekly zeros. You can do one of them throughout the week, one of each, so you can go through, run those out. Now, the way that's going to do is it's going to actually contribute to your Great Vault. So, yes, your first Great Vault for Season 2 is going to happen on August 18th when the official Mythic Plus and Raid season opens up. What you'll be able to get out of that, basically, Mythic Zeros are going to give you 292 item level gear. So that's going to be your drop there, 292 item level gear for the weekly reset. Pretty good. I mean, that's still an upgrade for a lot of people out there. Mythic Zero's daily reset, again, drops 292 item level gear. So once August 18th hits, but that'll be more of a daily reset on that one. Beyond that, once the actual season kicks off, this is how the rankings are going to look in item levels for all of this. So a +2 key out of your Great Vault. This will be the second Great Vault we get in the season, basically. We'll give you 305, 1 of 6 heroic gear. That'll continue to go up here. Obviously, doing raiding is going to be different this season because if you're killing heroic raid bosses, you're going to get myth track gear, which is going to be 318, 1 of 6 gear out of your vault. That will take an equivalent of a +10 out of a Mythic Plus to be able to get that kind of item level gear. These are your end of dungeon gear, so even 311, 305, like a lot of this stuff's going to be big upgrades for a lot of people. So yeah, obviously the start of a season, always gearing the hell out, so that's going to be great. A lot of people will be running Mythic Plus that season. And again, raiding is going to be more rewarding than ever. It's going to be great to run Heroic Raid that first week and not feel like you're falling behind all the Mythic Plusers, so that'll be nice. Also, the crest that you're going to get, obviously, Myth Track crest for a +9 or higher, and Hero crest for a +4 or higher. Champion crest, anything below that. Okay, moving on to our tier lists. I promised you guys I'd give you guys tier lists, and I held it out to the end of the video. Why? Because I wanted you to watch to the end. But this is important, and we need to get into this because there was a wide range of changes that hit over the weekend. This includes a lot of that stuff. This was actually before the weekend. So all these recent changes and everything are going to affect how these tier lists work out. Let's see the first tier list that we got here. Let's get into it. It's DPS rankings, boys and girls. And one thing you'll notice, okay, I want you to look at this chart. Look at it. Listen to me. One thing that you'll notice, Blizzard pumped up a lot of the classes that were kind of lagging behind, and we actually see the majority of classes here sitting in an A and A+ ranking. A lot of classes moved up a ranking. This is pretty good, honestly. Blizzard's done a decent job of balancing them out this time. No D tier. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing you might notice here. So really what this chart is saying is we've got some decent balancing going on with DPS here. So let's get into who's the top right now. Yes, S+ tier. Arcane Mage has moved up in S+. Arms Warrior was already there and still sitting there pretty. That's a surprise. For S tier, Outlaw Rogue has recently moved up into S tier, and Windwalker Monk has also moved up. For A+, we have Elemental Shaman, Balanced Druid, Frost Death Knight, Ass Rogue, Destruction Warlock, Retribution Paladin, Unholy DK, moving down from the S tier here, Havoc Demon Hunter, and Devour Demon Hunter. For A tier, we got Enhancement Shaman, Demonology Warlock, Shadow Priest, Fire Mage, Affliction Warlock, Feral Druid, and Augmentation Evoker. B+, we got Frost Mage, Survival Hunter, Marksmanship Hunter, and Sub-Titty Rogues with the big titties. And then B, Fury Warriors and Bestiality Hunters. It's very fitting that they're sitting there together. And then finally, you know, they're just, it's devastating. That's just what they are. Devastation Evokers sitting down at the C tier. I recently saw, I think Blizzard did address that they're going to try to give them a little bit more. I saw the buffs that they gave Devastation, and I myself said they need more. Devastation needs more. They need more love. Now, I'm not a big Scaly Boy fan, but I can, you know, empathize with them being down at the bottom because they have been there for quite a while. But it's a copium list? No, it's not. No, it's not. This is a good list. It's a good list, and it looks like a lot of the classes are sitting there bunched up in the middle, which is kind of what you want to see. Let the skill determine who makes it to the top, not the classes themselves. So this is good. Moving on to the healing side of things. Holy Paladin and Resto Shaman sitting at S tier. We got Mistweaver Monk sitting in the A tier. B+, we got Disc Priest and Holy Priest. So you got the two priests there sitting in the B+ tier. And then B tier, Resto Shaman, Preservation Evoker. Again, everyone's pretty close to each other. It does look like Holy Paladin or Resto Shaman might be the meta this season. So we'll see which one comes out on top there. I'm rooting for Resto Shaman just because I like to have shamans with us. But yeah, Holy Paladin, sure, why not? But again, S tier to B tier. Nobody's sitting in a C, D, you know, so it's looking like everyone's pretty bunched together. And let's move on to the final one. The one that matters most to me. The tier list for tanks. Who's on top, boys? Say it loud in chat. Say it loud so I can hear you. Type it vigorously. That's right. Blood DKs. Finally, our time in the sun has arrived once again. Out of the shadows, we return. Healing our way, death striking our way through all the shit we've been through. Once again at the top, that's right, Blood DKs after the major buffs that we got. We're talking 20% buffs to our damage output. I mean, it's looking glorious. It's looking great. It's going to be a wonderful season for us. Blood Death Knights sitting there in the S tier. That's right. Finally, A+, we got Protection Paladin and Guardian Druid moving up recently. A, we got Vengeance Demon Hunter and Protection Warrior. And then Brewmaster, the squishiest of the tanks, sitting there at B tier. Kind of low for them, but Brewmaster did have its time in the sun in Season 1 not too long ago. So overall, though, looking at this list again, we're ranging from B to S. You know, it's a little bit of BS going on here. But overall, I think all these tanks are pretty viable. Again, the rumor out there was Prop Paladin was going to be the meta, but after the recent buffs, I mean, Blood DK's overtaken everybody. It looks great. It's having a good time. It's partying at the very top, and I'm very excited to play Blood DK in Season 2. Again,
let us lay waste to this
Pretty Mood,
realm.
thank you for the follow, and welcome to our Scourge. Again, take these tier lists with a grain of salt. You know, player skill matters. Obviously, you can't just play the S tier and think you're going to have the highest damage on the meters. You're not. Okay, you gotta pump right. You gotta do things right. Play what's fun to you, and we'll see how the season plays out. What the meta ends up looking like for this season. But for today, that is all in terms of news.